Hey everyone, I'm Jack Fossett, and today we are checking out the Surfy Industries SurfyFuzz. So, as you can tell, this is a vintage style, but with some modern appointments. Really gnarly, raspy fuzz. Kind of in the realm of something like the Fuzzrite. It has that kind of spittiness. It has that really just, sputteriness to it. It's not like the biddy thing, but it's just like your classic kind of vintage fuzz, but with a couple of added appointments, like I mentioned, that make it more versatile, make it more usable, and give you a few different options. Now, I want to start by saying that this is not a fuzz for the faint of heart. A lot of times I've done fuzzes where, you might say like, oh, it's the fuzz for people who don't like fuzz. I'll just say this is a fuzz for people who like fuzz and know what they're doing with fuzz. So I want to get that out of the way from the start. This is a great quality and a great sounding fuzz, but it's definitely an unforgiving fuzz. You kind of need to know what you're doing, how to dial it in, and really how to use in general vintage style fuzz circuits. Now, some of the added features sort of help widen that horizon a little bit, but this is definitely a fuzz for fuzz lovers. Now, a guy named Garrett Emel used to make a fuzz called the D67, which was a very, very short-lived fuzz, but there's inspiration in this one from that, including the mass and the harmonics, which, as you can hear, really help you kind of shape and sculpt the tone, particularly the mass knob, and as you could hear, the mass knob really affecting that bottom end, and when you push it, you could fill up the sound and almost simulate the idea of like a fuzz going into a larger amp or an already overdriven amp, and it just kind of thickened it in a really nice way that made it more usable. Now you also have your switch for USA or Japan. When you flip it up, again, as you heard, to Japan, you get this cool octave fuzz kind of tone. And between these 5 controls, there are a lot of ways that you can dial this in and tailor it to your sound, even though it has that really kind of like fully dedicated vintage fuzz kind of feel to it. Now, Surfy Industries is a company that I think does impeccable work. They make really high quality pedals. I have a number of their modulation pedals. This is my first drive pedal of theirs, and the quality is right where I would expect. Now, this will also run off of 9 or 12 volts. I am running it on 9 volts today for this video. You've just heard it with a Gibson Les Paul. I am plugging into a Supro Delta King 12, and I do have that a little bit overdriven. It's not full out raucous overdriven, but it's got a little bit of drive coming from the amp that I'm boosting this with. Now next we're going to play it with a Stratocaster, and particularly you'll hear with the Stratocaster on the neck position, on the Japan setting with the octafuzz sound, it really, that's like the octafuzz thing, right? A Stratocaster on the neck position. For people who are into Hendrix, that's kind of that classic sound. So we're going to go through some of the settings that you can get on this, and particularly you'll hear how the mass knob just really makes the Stratocaster with the fuzz sound absolutely massive. So let us know what you think. I'm Jack Fossett. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.